All right, so this is your final warning. I know you're tired of hearing it. I'm tired of saying it, but the recorded sessions from our Emergence 2021 workshop will be taken down soon at the end of February. I'm going to release this podcast early. That way you have an extra day or so to listen to my warning and go back and watch them before they're gone. So don't waste time. Do it. Register at www.tier1trading.com. Click the banner that says Emergence 2021. Fill out the email thing. We will shoot it to you. You can watch it. I don't want to get any emails saying I missed it. Akil, can you keep them up for longer? The answer will be no. In fact, I probably won't respond. So pause this, do it, and enjoy. Hey guys, in today's episode, we're going to talk about one of the biggest obstacles that comes when learning how to trade. And the surprising thing is, it actually occurs before you ever learn how to trade. Hey guys, Akil here. Welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. Thank you as always for joining me. I've got another random episode today, meaning that I literally just read a tweet, hit the record button on my microphone, and boom, this is going to turn into a podcast, and hopefully it's going to turn into a good one. If you are brand new, this is kind of what you get here. I don't plan any of these out. I kind of just share with you the conversations and the discussions that I have on a regular basis, either with myself inside my own mind, with the traders that I work with on the Tier 1 trading platform, or the people that I work with outside of trading and many of the other things that I do in life. But I just read a tweet, and it was in response to a video I shared. I shared a video from Jason Greystone. This video had to be done years ago, but if you guys have been regular followers before the podcast of what we're doing here at Tier 1 Trading, you know exactly which video this is. But this was the video of when Jason went to a random McDonald's, right? You could tell it's a long time ago, Jason going to McDonald's, but a random McDonald's and just decided to sit down with a random person. One of his goals back then, I'm not sure if he still does it, but he just likes sitting down with random people and having discussions, getting to learn about people, networking, making connections. I'm not just talking about people that seem important, just random person, getting to know you on a regular person by person basis. And I think that's it's kind of cool. I mean, we're social interaction. Despite me being, I don't know if I'm an introvert. I just don't really like people. I guess that is kind of one. I don't really like small talk conversations unless I feel like I can get something out of it. Unless I know you, that's just my type. But I think it's cool for social interaction to be able to talk to people, and you never know what you're going to learn. You never know what type of impact you're going to have on someone's life. And he sat down with a guy at McDonald's who was on his phone, and Jason asked, what are you doing? And the guy's talking about trading, I think it was Bitcoin and whatnot, and he's tracking his trade and whatnot. He has no idea Jason Greystone is a professional trader, professional investor, one of the best trading coaches out here on the planet. And Jason's kind of playing the role, asking him questions about what he's doing. And, long story short, you can guess, right? If I were to tell you I ran into a random trader out there trading from his phone, would you probably guess the story's going to end good or bad, right? Probably bad. And I got a response to the video that I share. I guess the caption that I put up, it says, I'd like to think we've played a major role in changing what the reality of trading looks like. However, there are still people out there who think like this, and it's extremely sad. Great interview, Jason. People need to see this. And I'll link the video below in this podcast. And the response was, this is actually quite frightening. The way that consuming false information can totally warp your perception on something and potentially totally ruining your life is scary indeed. We should really be militant about vetting the type of information that we allow into our minds. And that is a major change I've made in my life over the past probably 5-10 years now, is being very militant about how I think, the thoughts that I allow into my mind, my self-talk to myself, and really the people that I hang around, right? I try to hang around only positive people, only people that are going to lift me up, not people that are going to put me down. I purposely, and maybe that's one of the reasons I'm not so social into small talk unless I kind of know you, is because I don't really want to hear about your pity party, right? Your pity story. I don't really care if you're in a bad place at life. What are you doing about it, right? If you're approaching me and it's like, hey, I'm at this bad place in my life, but here's what I'm going to do about it. That's a little bit different. That's an empowering conversation. But we know that most people out there just complain, oh, I did this, oh, I did that, oh, life's not fair, blah, 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 blah. Well, life's not fair to anybody, right? Even the successful people, life's not fair, right? I can excuse my language, bitch and moan all day about emails I get and responding to people and all the stuff that I do that I don't want to do. But that's part of the game, right? So instead of whining about what you're not doing, use that energy to focus on what you can do to better your situation. But I digress. But surrounding yourself with positive information is and positive people is key to keep you on a positive track to uplift you. So I do think we should be very militant about the information that we let into our minds. Now, the problem is when it comes to trading is that when people get into trading, they come in a stage in which we call unconscious incompetence. So they don't know what they don't know. This is imagine a newborn baby or a baby that's just starting to crawl and walk, right? They're discovering brand new places of the world for the first time, and the world being your house or whatnot. And they don't know what's good. They don't know what's bad, right? You ever see a baby go over to the little electrical outlet and they're looking at it and they see the little hole and they're like, right? Let me stick my finger in there, right? Now, all of us, most of us, some of us, I'm trying to know my audience here. We're probably pretty reckless. As adults, we would know, hey, let's not stick my finger or this metal object into an outlet that will end bad. But imagine as a kid, you're curious. This is a hole. Where does this hole go to? What happens if I touch it? What will it do? Ooh, there's a little spark. That looked cool. Let's do it again, right? They don't know. And we rush when we see it happening. We rush and we stop the baby and we use it as an educational tool. Hey, don't do this because. And then what happens is, probably multiple times. It takes a little bit, but they learn. And before you know it, they learn not to do stuff. A great example, I've got a 2-year-old now, so he learned this a while ago. I do a lot of cooking. And when we cook, I cook in the oven. I turn the light on so he can see inside, right? The first time, the oven's open, he runs right towards it. He feels the heat. He's like, oh, cool, let's go touch it. We're like, no, hot, hot, hot. And we make the hands, ooh, ouch, ouch, hot, hot, hot. So every time he goes towards it now, he's cautious. He doesn't touch it. Even if it's not on, he won't touch it because he has associated with hot, danger, do not touch. He's trained. The issue is, right, with kids and whatnot, is as parents, we get the first influence on them. We have the opportunity to mold them and really mold their brain. That's another interesting subject, the way we can mold kids within the first, I believe it's 6 years of life to what they're going to be later in life. But we have the opportunity to mold them into, hopefully the person that we want them to be. Teach them the right things, right? Do not hit, do not bite, all that fun stuff. However, when most people learn trading, and this is one reason I say it's so good to get a mentor because you're going to learn the right way. But when most people learn trading, the first thing they turn to is YouTube. And that is the first thing I would do. If I were learning how to trade and right now for the first time, the first thing I would do is I would go to Google and enter how to trade Forex or something like that, how to invest. And I would find a YouTube channel. Unfortunately, what would happen is, before I get to the actual video on that YouTube channel, some ad would probably come up. Hey, I made this $1 million, blah, 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 cool music. It's all, gets your heart going, all flowing. These guys are great at marketing these days. And that would suck me in. Now, many of us looking at that, we'd be like, scammer, you can't make $1 million a day, scammer. But if you're in this unconscious incompetent stage where you don't know any better, that's the first influence on you. So that's what you think is reality. Now, you would think hopefully a person is brought up where they know better. Like if someone said I can make $1 million a day, I know it's not real. That's not possible, right? And if it is possible, they're not wasting their time doing YouTube ads to tell me that, right? It is a secret that they will tell nobody. I can tell you this. If I had a method to making $1 million a day in the market, would I sell it to you for $99? Hell no, right? Because that's going to give me less in return than me making my $1 million a day in the market and not telling you what I'm doing so I can possibly sabotage my system, right? I wouldn't do it. So if you have some type of financial background, you kind of understand what's realistic and what's not realistic. But that goes to another problem. Most of us don't have a good financial background as far as being financially educated. So we just don't know. We are unconsciously incompetent there as well. So no one's been able to kind of mold that part of our thinking. So And I don't have an answer for this solution. I can tell you that's something that we've done and something I've dedicated my life to since 2012 is being a voice out there that spreads the truth, being a voice out there that spreads the reality. Here is what trading really is. Yes, you can do all these cool things. Yes, you can live your dream life, but you can't expect this or you should expect that. It's going to be hard. It's going to take time, right? And my hopes are that if I can spread this reality and people I've partnered with, Jason Greystone, Charles, all of us at Tier 1 Trading, and there's a handful of other great traders out there, your Mike Bellafiore's, your Steve Burns, your Adam Grinds, your boys over at Trade Society, Alpha Minds, right? There's lots of them. And maybe I just know them because, again, I surround myself with positive people. David Floyd over at Aspen Trading, another good buddy of mine. We're trying to, we it's funny because we don't look at each other as competition. We are all educators in a sense, but none of us are ever, oh no, don't look at him, don't look at them, right? There are some people out there, some educators out there that try to push everyone down, right? We've seen an incident years ago where there was a certain educator out there that tried to sue everyone that said they were using patterns and extort money from them. And that, and they tried to put up false articles and that didn't go over too well because it just showed what type of character he is. But we're not seeing ourselves as competition. We're seeing ourselves as part of a bigger movement, right? Then the movement is to properly educate people about the financial markets. That way they can make an honest decision on whether this is something they want to pursue or not. And if you can make an honest decision, if you know kind of what's in front of you, you're more prepared to take that journey if it is something you want to do. And if the journey doesn't look realistic, if you're not interested in if you're not happy with making a 35% return a year, a 40% return a year, and it's not worth it, well, now you can take your energy and your time and do something else that is worth it. You don't have to spend time kind of learning the hard way that you've been sold lies. So I don't really pay attention to the spammers, so I don't know if they're out there at the same rate as they were when I first started trading, and that's probably because I was paying more attention to them when I first started trading. But the goal of mine is to get out ahead of them and push so much educational and truthful content out there that hopefully when someone is a new trader, they're coming across a podcast or coming across a tweet, an Instagram post, a YouTube video that gives them a different outlook on what to expect from the markets. Whether they like it or whether they don't like it, at least it gets to them first and makes them think and say, maybe I should look more into this instead of just falling for that. And this is not just me. It's not just the other educators out there. This is on you guys as well. You need to be a part of this movement. If you're going to be a supporter of what we're doing, of myself, of anyone at Tier 1, of the Trading Coach podcast, of the Always Free podcast, of any of the traders I mentioned, right? If you're going to be a supporter, you need to be a part of the movement. That means you can't keep your mouth shut. I'm not saying you go around and shamelessly promote us and be like, hey, watch this guy buy their stuff. No, I don't care about that. But when you see stuff or when you see new traders in conversations that are getting suckered in or sucked into the mess of, hey, I can make you this many Bitcoins and blah, blah, blah like that, you just can't turn a blind eye to it. You have to get out there and be like, hey, think about this or go to this site, check out this, whatever it may be. And you have to at least give them the opportunity to see both sides of the equation. That way they can make a decision. Now, if they still make the decision that they want to do to get rich quick stuff and they're going to make $1 million a day, then that's on them. But you can sleep peacefully at night knowing that you provided them with an alternative. After that, the ball's in their court, and whatever they want to do with it, well, that's on them. Hey guys, Kill here. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you find yourself struggling or maybe having the wrong impression about what trading is or what it takes to be successful, here's what I recommend doing. Head over to our website, www.tier1trading.com, and click that button that says, I want free stuff. Check out the Ascension webinar. It is 100% free, and it gives you a fantastic look at really what struggling traders are doing versus what successful traders are doing. And I think it's going to help give you the correct mindset of what to do and what to expect if you ever want to be successful in your trading. So check it out, www.tier1trading.com. Click the button that says give me free stuff and take advantage.